Oh, I'm live. First time for, well, God knows how many months I've done actual live. So, good afternoon. So I did put this to a poll because I didn't know whether it is worthwhile actually doing it or not. Because quite frankly, I don't know if I could be bothered, which is a really terrible thing to say. But I've had a bit of a sort out on the one of the sheds this morning, and I've grabbed out a few bits to photo, mainly because at the moment they're filming a new TV series on Apple TV, which is technically the third part of Tom Hanks and Steven Spielberg's trilogy, and it's on a book called Masters of the Air, and they're filming it for about an hour and a bit away from here in a place called Abingdon, which is in Oxfordshire. And I think they've set up another area in Chalfont St Peter, which is in Buckinghamshire as well, was set up as an old US airfield. So I thought, well, sod it, while I'm sorting it out, I might as well get out the Yank stuff. Not all of it is technically European. We've got obviously this, I think it's Sweet and Lovely, that B17 now, but that's a Pacific Theatre one. So it's more of like an apple sort of green rather than an olive drab. But right, I'll go through them anyhow, bit by bit. So over in the corner is a bit of a random selection. I know there's a couple of sea fires. I've featured these a little bit. So one of the guys who follows the page on Facebook and Instagram, Dave Hunt, made these for me. That one there is an ex-Corgi Mark 19 with a different prop on. I believe that's a C515. And you've got the bubble canopy version there, sort of reminiscent to the Spitfire 16. With obviously the 4-blade Griffin on the top and the extra cowlings. I don't know if you can see them sort of there. And I did one, I was mucking around with a complete wreck. I didn't have the slate green, so I tried making it. It's come up a bit apply, if I was to be honest with you. But I've done a prototype Spitfire 3 with the Trop filter. It was a knackered Australian Spitfire, but I was just mucking around on the week off. So they're the sea fires. I just got them out because they happened to be there in the corner. And this one here is a Code 3 Dakota. So it was originally this camel caravan to Berlin, and it was my first ever attempt at Code 3. And to be honest with you, I didn't do too bad on it. I know there's a few mistakes here and there, but overall it's not too bad at all, and it fits nicely with my other Dakotas in the collection, including the RAF ones as well for the D-Day theme. So that's really nice. So right, let's go through them bit by bit. So this one here, quite a classic Corgi, it's part of the nose art collection, and it is a bit of lace with the yellow cane. It needs an extra prop there. I got off of Dan. Just needs an extra prop which I can find quite easy. I've ordered some Liberator props, funny enough, because I'm doing another Liberator up, but more about that later. And this is the Corgi, obviously the Corgi nose art version. I didn't bother getting the nose art out of the box. But yeah, really lovely looking aircraft. Needs a few guns and that fitted, but nothing too sinister. But yeah, great and quite a rare one to find nowadays. Next to that is 909. And of course this represents the wartime bird. Of course we lost the real thing a year or so ago in a fatal crash in America, which is a real shame. But this is the Air Force One version. So the main difference here, I don't know if you can see, is basically the cowlings are open, or the cowl flaps are open. Very strange decision because it must be more complex to manufacture, but overall it's not bad at all. The paint finish is good. A few rather large rivets there. I don't think those rivets would be quite so big in real life, so I guess that adds a little bit of non-realness to it. But it's, the stenciling's really good. The paint finish is great, and the sun's come out as well to feature it. Really nice looking aircraft. I've got two of these. I've got this one and bit of lace. Another version of this one, funny enough, but they've just released two more as well, which are out in the market now, and they're pretty cheap in comparison to Corgi, about 99 quid, so well worth looking into. Next B17 featured is this classic, which was released last year, and of course this is Mi Amigo. For those who are not UK based, this is the aircraft that crashed in a Sheffield park in 1944, and the young lad who witnessed it, well, he's not so young now, is a guy called Tony Folds. And he set up a memorial garden to the crew on that, and he still maintains it to this day, so fair play to him. But really nice looking aircraft, and of course they did a big fly past over Sheffield to celebrate it. I believe it was last year, and of course Hobby Master released the F15, Mi Amigo as well, Lake and Heath based F15, which is a real classic if you can get your hands on it. I know Gary's got it, so really, really nice. The next one here, this one originally was this one, which is Zoot Shooters. and it was put into this scheme. It was this is a code 3, and I bought this off a gentleman in northwest London. I don't know if it is technically the pro to the last release, Mischief. But either way, it's really, really nice. There's a few, again, got to put some guns on, they're all in the box, but there's nothing in the aerials, all in the box, but I've not bothered putting anything on yet because it's not set up. But a really nice looking code 3 and a nice attractive scheme. Not one I've got yet, Mischief, so one to look after. This one here is the famed Pacific set. So this was a massive balls up on Corgi's part. They ended up doing this one here, featuring a Pacific B17 with 2 European-based fighters supporting it, and one of which is painted in this blue, and I think there's a lot of debate as to whether this blue is really green. So it's a bit of a balls up all round, but they're lovely looking machines regardless. But like I said, some people moan because it doesn't fit the theme. So this is in a very much a bright garish green, an apple green colour. But again, it stands out quite nicely next to the rest of the B17s in the collection. And of course, P51D here, featuring the partial D-Day stripes on the fuselage, and Rosy Def 2, which you can get this version, well, you can get the Razorback version in the Legend series as well, which in the sort of, again, that's in an olive drab colour. Next up is Mountain Ride. I've got to put the, as you can see, the turret there. I've just had to fix that, so it's got to go back on in a minute. It's currently drying at the moment, so I'll put that back on, but it's not the original turret for the B17, and very, very similar, of course, to this here, this aircraft in terms of colour scheme as well. I didn't realise actually how similar it was until I've got it out of the box. First time I got them out together. But again, a very, very nice looking B17, and it's also, again, Mountain Ride is part of the nose art collection as well, because it comes with a nose art panel. The next one I'm not going to cover too much because I know Gary's got this coming, so he'll do a full photo shoot on it. And this is the Italian theatre-based pistol packing Mama. Very nice yellow and black rear there, and really nice finish to it. And of course, it comes with the turret at the front as well. The next one, this is a project which I got for a tenner about 5 years ago. And this, what I don't get here is really bonkers. All the guns are all in situ, every single gun. Yet every single propeller was taken off, so it needs some aftermarket propellers put on there and all filed down, put on. But I've got another Liberate which I'm finishing up at the moment, the one with the dragon on the front. It's not the dragon in its tail, but it's got like a dragon, a yellow front with a dragon on it, and the tail fins are on their way, as are the new propellers as well, so I'm going to repair that, and that will be featured up on the page next week as well. You might have noticed I've got 3 little trucks along the front here. This is part of a little set which come from Oxford, I believe, to commemorate D-Day, the 50th anniversary of D-Day. I picked this up at a boot sale for like £5, but it adds a nice little extra bit to the collection. The next one is this rather garish looking beast, and this is the assembly ship You Can't Miss It, which of course is stripped of all its guns and is painted up in the rather garish yellow and black checkers to basically stand out quite a bit for the formations to formate on. I don't know, I might be incorrect here, so bear with me if I am. I'm pretty certain that they were loaded up with bombs just in case there was any aircraft that become unserviceable whilst in the air, and this would then have to go on the mission to help obviously bulk up the numbers, unarmed as well, which wouldn't have been a particularly nice job for people going on. Oh, hello Dave. Yes, the man cave is going on. I'll show you that in a minute, but I'll show you what I've been busy. That's why I've not got to it. So bear with me on the last one. And this one here, as I sit down because I'm knackered, is a code 3. And this one was originally the same as Pistol Packing Mama. And this one is representing an aircraft called Naughty Nan. So as you can see, it's got all the decals on there. I picked this up on eBay again 3-4 years ago now. And this is actually the first time it's ever been out of the box. So you can see with obviously the front turret as well. But a really nice looking scheme to add something a little bit different to the collection. I've got a lot more B17s, I've got a lot more B24s, I've certainly got a lot more Dakotas out there. This is only a very small selection of them. So I've had a bit of a sort out on the shed, or shed 1, I should say today. You know, just going through it, I've found about 8 Lancasters just in there alone. it's, you know, the job of setting this up once the man cave is up and running, which I'll come and show you in a minute, is quite a big piece of work. So this has taken me an hour or two just to set these up, and then I've got to put them all away again in a minute as well. But yeah, it's hello Dan. Dan's online. It should be. He's obviously finished work early afternoon. So yeah, so this is only a very small selection, like I said, and yeah, it's going to be horrendous setting it up. I've already drawn up plans as to what I want in there, but like everything gets in the way. So we've been busy. I'll show you the project in a minute. I've been up to for the last couple of weeks, which is a bit of decking. I say a bit of decking. Quite a chunk of decking actually, but now we're getting the drive done. We've had the little man's room to do upstairs as well. When I say little man, we haven't got a midget, I mean my son. So he's been focusing getting on that done. So like everything, it's just got in the way, but we're going to have a quick wander out there. There we go. And you can see these two Muppets outside. Look at them, look. Butter wouldn't melt. So never get a German Shepherd. They say they're really intelligent. These two dipsticks, well, they're not so much. They're jumping up at me as I'm walking out. So at the moment, like I said, it's all painted up. I've done a massive chunk of decking. So inside it, walk up to it. Hi. So it's all ready electric wise. It's got the lazy spar in at the moment, and it's a bit of a project. So the next job is to plasterboard it, which I'm going to have a go at myself. So just to sort of give you, for those who don't know, the display space will be this wall. Yeah, there'll be this left side, which you can see all my tools out now, and then that back wall. It works out around about, sorry, I'm telling a lie. It's not, it's the back wall and then the right side there. It's going to be 18 cab work to do on that. But like I said, just everything else seems to get in the bloody way. So, and yeah, heading back. At least we've got a completed garden now though, which is a start. So, and just to give you a bit of a scale of things, that's everything that's out of that shed for the minute, just to have a sort out what I've got. So I'm going to pack some of the loose stuff in a bit tighter, make a bit of room. If anyone who's interested, that's the old dog. That was Lola in that box there. That was our first German Shepherd. Pay attention, used to. Obviously, I didn't kill her. Just want to clarify that. She died of old age, but yeah, I did get the glass replaced, Dave. But I had a bit of an incident yesterday, so I did try and get away with that one. I don't know if you can see that the second panel. There was a fox sitting on the shed yesterday evening, and where is she? This one here decided to speed out at 100 miles an hour and smash that one as well. So I've got to get that replaced. Brilliant. And that's why, ladies and gentlemen, you don't get German Shepherds, because they're numpties. So I've had to put some more paving slabs on the front there to try and stop the stones going on the thing, and it seems to have worked today. There's not been any stones being run on there, so that's another bit of work we've got to do, which is a pain in the arse, and that 300 quid should pay for a large chunk of plasterboard. So cheers, dogs, really appreciate that. So yeah, so that's the next project. I do literally say this every single video that I do, is that I apologise I've not done anything. It's just, quite frankly, I'm exhausted from work. I've had a week off this week, and I've chosen to not do anything other than just have a bit of a chill, to be honest with you. It's only that where I'm on a bit of a sort out, I thought, well, I'll go into the shed and have a little look around as to what's going on. And again, you know, it's astonishing. And for anybody who's starting out in this hobby, you know, try not to get too addicted to it, because quite frankly, I've got so many aircraft at the moment, I can't move, and until it's set up, I need to really put a bit of a stop to it. So, you know, only going to be the odd addition here and there. And then we'll go gung-ho a little bit more once it's all set up and everything's all willy-nilly, if you know what I mean. So, look, if anyone's got any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them. If anybody's got anything, you know, they want to ask, nothing interesting, of course. Don't ask anything too technical, though, because I'm not a genius. I've lost my can of Coke. So I need to go and find that, because I really got a bit of a sore throat today. Just like to add, not COVID as well. But there's quite a bit coming out recently, which I've not had a chance to get. So we've got the ME110 that Corgi released last month. The winter one, which looks gorgeous, but it's only a Corgi website exclusive. I don't know whether that's going to change at any point, and it's $74.99, and I'm not, at the moment, like I said, we've got better things to put the money towards in terms of getting the house finished and sorting things out there. So that's on the back burner for now. We've got Buzz Buggy, the P51, which has been released, which I'm looking to get, and also the Bristol Fighter, which I should also be looking to get recently, and that is an amazing model. So Carlos Fandango 86, what a great name. Is that B17 with the movable flaps, a Corgi model? Yes. So this one here doesn't have movable flaps. This one is Air Force One, so that has the movable flaps. And the later model ones, I believe, so these, they have these areas that move the cow. I guess they're flaps as well, aren't they? Yeah, so for some reason, the outer flaps of the Air Force One move, but the lower ones don't. Yeah, on the Corgi, I don't know if you can see that, you've got the lower flaps there that move. And on the B24s, nothing moves in terms of flaps or rudders or anything like that. So they're just fixed. And on the DAX, I'm pretty certain nothing moves on the DAX either. No, nothing moves on the DAX or the Spitfires. So at the moment, Happy Jack's Mustang is out now, absolutely. I spoke to my supplier. I should call him a dealer. It looks stunning, to be honest with you. Anyone that repairs Corgi models? I don't really know, to be honest. There's nobody specifically repairs them. I mean, Dan, Gary, and to an extent myself do them, but we don't do them for pay. I don't know if you're based in this country, whether he could do them for one of the lads would do them for a small fee. What sort of aircraft have you got that needs repairing? Cheers, Padana Matthew. Wow, yeah, this is just a very small percentage of the collection. I think I've got 12 Liberators at the moment, maybe even a lot more. B17s, I'm well past 12 as well. So this is just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is just 6 of those B17s. The numbers are quite astonishing. I need to, when I'm setting them up, I will be databasing them to, obviously for insurance purposes, but more for me knowing that I don't buy the same bloody thing over and over again, because that's one thing that I know when I'm going to be setting up the collection. There'll be a hell of a, got hiccups, hell of a lot of them being sold to obviously finance more to replace them, if that makes any sense. Yeah, so where was I? Yeah, so P-Soper 007. I don't know which model you need repaired, mate, but if you can drop us Amigo. Got some damage to Mi Amigo based in Bristol. So the problem you've got is if you're going to send them to someone, unless they're local, you've got to pay, you're probably paying a tenner each way just to post the bloody thing. But if you drop us a message after this and give you some advice, I can tell you where we can get the spare parts from, and you can have a crack yourself. It's like anything. I'm no modeller by trade. I'm not the greatest at painting or anything like that. I'll give it a go. Anything in the works of manufacturers for Instafate, but the interviews with Michael and Noel were fantastic. Yes. So I spoke very briefly to Michael the other day. They've got a new person starting at Corgi, so we might do... he used the expression freeway, but I won't use that. He did ask about whether we can do something again, which I'm more than happy to do. I'm guessing we're waiting for lockdown to completely finish this side of the pond. And we're getting there, to be honest with you. I think the big step is in a couple of weeks, May 17th, when we start opening restaurants and stuff again, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we're not going to make a backward step. But yes, there is something planned. I will catch up with Noel, and I know he's been incredibly busy. Drop us a DM, P-Soper 007, and like I said, we can give you the email address to Corgi to get your spares. And like I said, if you need any advice around repairing them, it would probably work out a lot cheaper if you did it yourself. But like I said, we can give you that advice. Dan and Gary are much more studious in that extent compared to me, so they might be offered, but they have the same access to the messages as I do, so we can all chip in, and they can probably tell me that my advice is completely rubbish as well. But yeah, so for anybody who don't know, you can get spare parts with both Hobby Master and Corgi. Oxford don't offer that service, which is a real pain in the backside, especially for their blue box models. If anybody's got any of the history of aviation models, they're brilliant, but they don't offer any spares, which is a pain in the arse. But of course, don't forget your kits. You can go to your Airfixes and your Revels and your Tamias and God knows what else. And if you've got any of them knocking around or old kit builds that you've had just sitting in the cupboard gathering dust, you can always use the parts off of them as well to a degree and find the correct paint and touch them up and work on that. But for anybody again who's based in the UK, popped to Hobbycraft the other day to have a little look, and they don't stock Humbro anymore, hence the reason I had to make up a slate for the Seafire prototype, which hasn't come out amazing, to be honest with you. It looked good when I put it on a bit of paper, and then you put it on the model and it looked like a bag of crap. So you can get them done, but I would advise, if you've got bigger models, get this Humbro spray. It's really, really good. I mean, considering that was sprayed by me, from a distance, it looks pretty decent. If you get right up close, you can see where it's a bit niggly, where it isn't perfect. But like I said, not a bad effort from me on that one. But Dan and Gary's are superb. Gary's, I forget the one he made now. It was one like an ocean grey colour. One of the ones that come over for Dax over Normandy, and it looks stunning. I think he sold it to Carl, who's just found himself a Just Jane as well. But don't forget, guys, we've also got the Facebook group, DWC, if you want to go and join over there. Lots of stuff goes on there in terms of people sharing their models and stuff like that. So it's well worth joining. It's a great little forum to be involved in. There's a great little community as well. And we're all in it together. So there's no silly questions asked. But like I said, if you've got any other questions or anyone else is online, before I switch off and try and pack this lot up, before going getting the youngster from football. He's at school today, not football. So getting completely, I think I'm getting dementia, like my dad. But yeah, the B17 and the US Air Force range, at the moment, like I said, it's only Corgi and Air Force One, who also make a Liberator as well. They've only released the one, which is a desert one with the glass nose, yet to join the collection, but it looks half decent, to be fair. But I think it's one of them ones I'd rather see up close before I pull the trigger. And of course, for those who live this side of the pond, and of course in America they're ongoing, but the first air show of the year last year at Shuttleworth, which is great to see, and fingers crossed that we can get Flying Legends at Sywell this year, right next to Dan's house. They've actually moved it to Dan, I think, by request. But fingers crossed we can get Flying Legends in. My God, I think we need it after the year and a bit that we've had. And there could be some really interesting aircraft there this year. We've got the Fokker that's being rebuilt in Holland. There's been some lovely additions to the German scene, including an Invader and an Avenger. And of course, we've got the new TP40N coming to Biggin Hill. We've got a two-seat Hurricane. You've got the new, the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight Hurricanes have been repainted, one which has been returned the other day in all black, and that looks stunning as well. So there's a lot going on, and hopefully we get to see that. Right, I don't think anyone else has got any questions, so if you have, like I said, drop us a DM. Look, thanks for joining this afternoon as I ramble on randomly while sipping a Diet Coke. Like I said, any updates with the Man Cave, as and when they happen, I'll share them with you. But like everything, it just takes time, doesn't it? And it also more importantly, it takes money as well, which, sometimes you want to do something and then it's diverted elsewhere to do this, that and the other. But look, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you have a lovely weekend. I'm going to spend it watching the little one play cricket, football even, as he continues his journey as a 7-year-old into the football. Like I said, have a lovely rest of the day, a lovely weekend, and I'll speak to you soon.